My name is Krista Ryan. I am 46 years old, and I have suffered from addiction for 33 years of my life. I come from a good family. I was raised by my mom and my stepdad. I have two brothers, one older and one younger. I lived in a small town called Enon. It was a village. We used to always make fun of the villagers of Enon Village, so that was me. I'm here today to talk to you about addiction in America and the struggles that we face, whether we are those who suffer from the addiction and the mental illness, or if we have a loved one who does, or even if we don't at all, but we're still subjected to it because it could be your neighbor. It happens on the streets. We see it through the unfortunate and underprivileged and the homeless. And addiction doesn't discriminate against anybody. It's a mental illness that's treatable, and it affects 55.9 million Americans. 120,000 people lose their battle to addiction every single year. That comes down to about 300 to 400 lives that we lose every single day due to addiction in America. I feel like we're plagued with such an illness because of the lack of education, lack of awareness, biases, judgments, inaccuracies, stereotypes. Some people say that it's a choice or a habit. It's not. It's a compulsion. I never chose to suffer from addiction. I never chose to go in and out of jail. I never chose to deal with so much suffering and pain and loneliness and choose to lose my children, my animals, my home, my marriage. I suffered from addiction, and I started at the age of 13. I was hanging out with my friends, you know. I remember I got off school about 2:30, and my parents didn't come home until about 4, so it gave me about an hour and a half. So for a 13-year-old, that was a little bit of too much free time. I had a little party, if you know what I mean. I had a lot of kids come over after my house. I lived on the main street, huge home. My mom was a nursing supervisor. My stepdad was a factory worker. I wasn't real popular, but I wasn't part of the outcast either, you know. I ran with everybody. Everybody knew me, and I knew everybody. And I had a hot spot. It just started off as smoking cigarettes, being cool, you know, experimenting. Oh, look at how cool I look smoking a cigarette. I thought it was harmless, you know. Just trying to fit in, you know. And why was I wrong? Because that turned into my habit of drinking alcohol, just occasionally, you know, going out with the girls on the weekend, or maybe just having them come over after school, or we would down a little bit of Mad Dog or St. Ides, Box White, Zinfandel, whatever we could get our hands on, really. We ran with older people who ran with older people, so it was never a problem to having access to get liquor and alcohol and cigarettes. Because my mother was a nursing supervisor, one would think that maybe I would know better, you know, and I did know. I mean, I took health class, I excelled in school. My aunt, my grandma, all in the medical field. I remember one day my mom came to me and she was having a talk with me about misusing pills. And I said, oh, mommy, I must have been 11. You never have to worry about me misusing pills because I can't even swallow them, you know? You always have to like take my pill and put it on a spoon, crush it, put the sugar in it, the water. Then I had to drink water, down the spoon, and drink another gulp of water before I could even swallow. So I'm definitely no way in hell gonna end up misusing pills, you know. I realized before it was too late that, you know, I spent less and less time with academics, not fulfilling my obligation to sports, skipping school, spending more time with my friends. I was 15 when I took my first hit of acid. We went to a local lake. It was a Friday night, I believe. I had this long sweater on. It was at a hot spot, you know, and I can't tell you who I ran with or what it was called, triple blog, whatever. I can't remember the details, but I laughed and I had a good time, and I liked it. From that point on, I started experimenting with marijuana. My grandfather, who is now deceased, would give me $50 every year for Christmas, you know, and Christmas Day I couldn't wait, you know, just get out there and give my $50 and go grab that weed, you know, brick, compressed, seedy, stemmy, brown weed, but I loved it. It was mine, and I smoked it, and I smoked it all, you know. My big brother and I, we were about a year apart. We never really got along, not growing up. We're sibling rivalry, you know. But the day that he came to me and notified me that he had started indulging in the same festivities that I did, he came to me, he was smiling, and he says to me, "Hey, Krista, you ever, you know, smoke weed?" Have I? Of course I have, you know, like, I'm the tree that it fell from. Of course I smoke weed. From that moment on, my brother and I became best friends. And I remember we used to sit outside on the cement step that walked up to our old kitchen door before we had remodeled the kitchen. So now there was no more doors. So we would sit there and we would smoke weed together and hide and steal my mom's car. And, you know, just kid stuff, harmless. That cigarette smoking and weed smoking and acid eating led to more drinking and more substance misuse. And I've gone through it. 33 years later, I've suffered from my illness and battling addiction, and I didn't try. Excuse me. I tried everything I could get my hands on. And I tried it more than once. And I liked it all. Some things I didn't try, like Quaaludes, because they weren't around anymore, or peyote, because who knows who can get peyote, you know. But I've done hash, I've done it all, opium. Pills even, you know, every kind of pill you can think of. And every way I can ingest it, you know. My biggest downfall, my biggest battle, my biggest demon, my biggest war, my biggest mistake, and my biggest regret was methamphetamine. And it was 2017, July. I remember my husband at the time. We had a big, beautiful, bi-level home in a great neighborhood. He had his own business. I was a stay-at-home mom. We were drinking one night. It's about, at this point in time, it's about 3 in the morning. Just being idiots, you know. Well, we drove to Springfield because his brother had access to the meth, and it's supposed to be a one-time thing, you know. Wanted to solve the world's problems. Got about $30 worth of meth that night. And we weren't habitual users, so we weren't really familiar with the whole routine, and we basically smoked it all up within 2 hours. And it's like we were smoking a crack pipe, you know, just burning the bubble. I burned my hands, trying to get another hit, and I remember burning my skin really bad, and I didn't even care. Just carrying on about nothing, not making any sense. And about the next day or so, his brother came back again and gave us more. Well, we thought we had control of the situation because we would only get like $20, and we would do it in the morning, and once we did it, he would go to work, and I would just sit around the house as a stay-at-home mom, clean or something, and we wouldn't do it anymore for the rest of the day. Oh, let me tell you, when I stayed home to clean, I tell you what, I really thought like I was some genius, you know what I mean? I was so creative, and I'm like, wow, I'm amazing, and I've got so much energy, and I could have cleaned a whole zip code of houses in one day. I could have moved a whole zip code of houses in one day. About a week later, his brother comes back, gave us more. One day, I remember I got out of bed, you know, and stood up, walked down the hallway, and my vision was going back and forth. And I thought, maybe I shouldn't do this. It's probably not good, you know, can't really have control of my eyeballs right now. So I called my guy at the time. And I didn't know a whole lot about meth at the time either, so I didn't know. I just did it. It made me feel good. It made me feel great. I lost weight. I had energy. It even put me in a good mood, you know? I called him up and I said, did you happen to do that again today? And he said, yeah. And I go, well, how did it make you feel? And he said, good, fine. And that's when I decided I was going to do it. That was the day that God had took some, you know, and I surrendered my freedom, my independence, and I lost, and I became addicted, you know, and I got it took to me that day, you know, and from that point on, it was over. It was it ruined my life, you know what I mean, and things just started going downhill real fast, you know. I lost my home. I lost my kids. I lost my animal. My marriage ended, you know, and I lived on the streets. Ashamed, you know, and I have a lot of guilt, and I can't explain to you what it's like to be under the power of the influence of addiction, because when that voice in your head gets to you and says, it's time to get high. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're doing or who you're with or how important it is, because you surrender. You stop what you're doing and you go get high. And it doesn't matter who you hurt. It doesn't matter what you have to do to get it. You're enslaved to your own addiction. And without even knowing it. I always thought I had had control of my life, and I thought I was in the driver's seat, and I thought that maybe these things that were happening to me, losing my home and losing my children, it was a challenge. It was a challenge that I can overcome. I tried to make the best of everything, you know. And before it's too late, your life is spun out of control. You're going in a downward spiral on a self-destructive path of devastation, and you're desperate. You become desperate, and you're sick. When someone suffers from addiction, it doesn't matter, because they choose one thing over everything. And there's nothing else to it. It's very, very powerful addiction, you know. It affects everybody. It affects your loved ones, your mothers, your fathers, your grandma, your brother, your sister, your kids. I've lost a lot of friends, you know what I mean? Even they could have been doing a different substance, you know what I mean? And, sorry. And they knew that if they used again, they could become a statistic, and some of them did, you know? And that's just how powerful addiction is, because you can't even save your own life. And, you know, you just don't know what to do, you know, because there's some people who have to use just so they don't die from withdrawal, you know? And, I just want to save the world, you know what I mean? But I can't. I can barely save myself. But I'll try, you know. I'm hoping that this video can help me along with my own journey, and unite some of others to my journey, so we can help each other and answer each other's questions. And I really just want to let anyone know who needs the help that there are resources available, and you're not alone. I pray for you. And I understand. I understand the stigma. I understand the scrutiny. I understand the difficulties. Because I chose to do alcohol. I chose to smoke cigarettes. I chose to misuse pills, and I didn't choose my addiction to control me and enslave me. I am here to say, though, there is hope. It's not easy, you know. It's I've been sober for 4 months now, and it's been really hard for me. I've had my ups and downs, but I've made a couple of power moves. I went through a treatment facility after I got in trouble with the law, and got put on probation. And even still, I wasn't planning on getting clean and sober. I was counting the days down to where I would get off probation so I could go smoke and get high. I was just trying to appease the courts. Fortunately, I did get sober, but it's been hard because I've had to learn to love others from a distance, you know, and I know what it's like to live and just not exist anymore, and I've wasted a lot of time. I have a lot of guilt, heartache. I have a lot of things I have to work on. And it's okay, because my life is so rewarding right now. I'm blessed, I'm humble, I'm grateful. But I've had to learn to love people from a distance and lose relationships and friendships, which is really hard for me because there was a time in my life, it's all I've ever had, you know? I just want to hug all of you right now. And I hope and pray that I can at least be here as a peer support, an ear to listen to you, a shoulder to cry on. I have some resources available if you need. I want to be inspiring, a role model. I'm going to affect people's lives in a positive impact, in a positive impacting way. My name is Krista Ryan, and I'm 46 years old. I suffered from addiction for 33 years, and I'm sober now for 4 months. If I can do it, you can too. And I want to say thank you so much for watching my podcast, Beauty and the Beast. I hope you come back and visit me. I'll be here on the regular. I want you to smash that subscribe button. I want you to smash that like button, please. I'm sending you all positive vibes, positive energy, wishing you a blessed day. Just know this is treatable. You're not alone. I love you all. Bye-bye. Thanks.